Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about the effects that the pandemic has had on me, but also some of the ways that I've been able to help myself keep busy and keep my mind off the daily news channels of how many COVID cases are in Ontario, or any of the other provinces or the US or whatever the case may be. And one of the things that I've found is I've been doing a lot of reading, and I don't mean the news. I do look at the news, but as of late, I don't read the news nearly as much because I find the sensationalism is just, the same thing, COVID this, COVID that. So today I just want to talk about a magazine that I subscribe to, and here it is here. And this is called the Downhome Magazine, and it's a magazine from St. John's, Newfoundland. And this magazine has, I guess you could say, filled a lot of my time in the last probably 6-8 months. Reading all the back issues that when I was working would pile up on my dresser, and I would say, well, I'm going to read that, but when you're working and you have all the stuff to do around the house and everything else, you don't have time to always do what you want to do. And I guess the old saying goes, when you retire, people always say, well, when I retire, I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do that, or I'm going to get this done, or I'm going to get that done. Well, one of the things that I'm getting done is going through all my issues of the Downhome Magazine. And the amazing thing about this magazine is just, I guess you could use the word wholesome. And, it amazes me when I get my new edition each month. And I mean, you get 3 years of this magazine for like $40 Canadian. I mean, it's an amazing deal. The people at Downhome are amazing to deal with. I've been on the phone with them the last couple of days because my subscription lapsed a year ago, and there was a few back issues that I didn't get. And I called them up or emailed them, and the nice lady from the reception sent me an email and said, no problem, we have the back issues in the warehouse, and all you have to do is pay for shipping, and you're good to go. And so now she's sending me issues from, even before I was a subscriber. And I'm so much looking forward to that. So, what do you find in the Downhomer? I mean, you find, stuff like this, weird and wild, different kinds of plants. And this one is, I guess, this plant that eats bugs. And you'd say to yourself, well, how interesting could that be? But I mean, when you're retired and you're sitting there and you want to find something to read, I actually find stuff like that really amazing. This particular edition from March of 2018 actually has Make Your Own Maple Syrup, Mystery in the Woods, Come from the Bays, a musical spin-off from the Broadway hit Come From Away. There's just endless great, wholesome stories of integrity, hardship, and pride. There's all kinds of amazing recipes. There's stuff on plants, travel, stories. One of the things that I enjoy reading the most is the stories about the remote Newfoundland outports. You can see this stuff on YouTube too, as far as the outports go. There's always people that have gone to visit Newfoundland and have filmed some of the outports that they can get to by boat. And you really get to you get a feeling that these people. And we all remember when, the 9/11 and all the folks had to land the planes in Newfoundland, and, the stories of how Newfoundlanders took people into their home and fed them and gave them clothes and money and on and on and on. And I mean, the friendships have probably gone on since, because that's the way Newfoundlanders are. They just, the only thing bigger than their hearts is their body. And, my mom was from Burin, Newfoundland, and she had a family of 13 children. And, pretty well all of them are in Ontario, or out west now. But I think there's 3 families or 4 families that are still living out in Newfoundland in different areas. And, we're planning a trip to Newfoundland next year, hopefully. And, I'm so much looking forward to visiting with these folks. But I'm also looking forward to, getting a closer look at all what Newfoundland has to offer. I mean, I've been there a few times as a kid, and once as an adult. But when we went back as an adult, it was 2015, and there was, I think we had not quite 2.5 weeks on Newfoundland, on the Rock, as they call it. And there's just, you can't do it justice at all in a short period of time. You need to go, for months to see all of Newfoundland, because every corner that you go around, you're driving along and you seem to think, well, you're in nowhere land, but all of a sudden you come around a corner and there it is. It's like a picture. There's this beautiful harbor, and all these, multicolored houses and boat houses and boats and whatever the case may be. And you can just pull over and when we were there last time, there was always a friendly face and somebody, whether they were from Newfoundland or their family was, or they lived right there, whatever the case may be, there was always people, ready to strike up a conversation. And a lot of the times, you'd be having this conversation and find out that, your cousin, knows their cousin, or whatever the case may be. So it's really quite fascinating, the heritage of Newfoundland. The stories about the fishermen and what they had to endure out on the fishing boats, with all that sort of thing. So if I could, say anything, if you are suffering from COVID insanity, the Downhome Magazine is a good way to help, for sure. Get your mind off all of this stuff, but also to read about the fascinating people of Newfoundland. Like, here's one here that just came in, and it's road tripping in Newfoundland, and it has some really great stuff about where to go and what to see. And this in particular was about somebody that wanted to visit all of Newfoundland and Labrador in one season. And what they mean by that is that there's only a certain amount of time where the weather is agreeable for, just if you want to camp or travel around or whatever. So this episode, this subscription month, or whatever you want to call it, it has a bunch of stuff about photographers. There's always letters from readers talking about their family or somebody in their family that at one time was a hockey player, or somebody who had patents that were created in Newfoundland. Entrepreneurs. There's everything you can you could imagine. Like, here's an article, Fresh Tracks, about baby eagles. What else we got here? Ready to renovate. As we all know, there's a new show on prime television about Brigus, Newfoundland. You know, a building company that is now doing renovation shows. And if you haven't seen that, you got to watch it. I mean, it's the you know, the people who are in the show are all just so down to earth, multi-talented, and just, you know, the pride that they show when they're renovating these houses is just absolutely phenomenal. So you got to check that out. The other thing that is in this magazine is stuff about recipes. You know, not just traditional Newfoundland recipes, but so here's one here about Newfoundland bread. And you know, when I was a kid, when we visited Newfoundland, my aunts would make you know, 5 or 6 loaves of bread in the oven, or even some of them had wood stove ovens, and you know, they'd bring it out of the oven and put like literally, you know, a half a pound of butter on top of this stuff. And me and my brother used to, you know, put some molasses on it and you know, eat like a loaf and a half of bread. And that was amazing. You know, that was amazing. You know, and as kids, we used to go down by the wharf and fish and this just, you know, it's such a Newfoundland is such a undisturbed place. You know, it's not the outback, but you know, it's definitely kept its beauty, and you know, the people of Newfoundland have taken great pride in you know, keeping their heritage for sure. So this one, you know, there's also a lot of stuff in these magazines about real estate that's for sale in Newfoundland, and that's been a big thing lately. People moving, you know, out of the cities and into Nova Scotia and Newfoundland, and if you were thinking of doing something like that, here's a great way to get a little bit of a more of a feel for what, you know, there is in Newfoundland, and maybe, you know, ideas on where you might want to go. Like I said, you know, 3 years, 36 editions for $40. I mean, you can't beat it. It's amazing. The Downhome Magazine, and you know, you can read to your heart's content about upbeat and people with integrity and honesty and just all around, you know, what's the word, wholesome stories of great people from the past and the present. And I would highly recommend anybody, if they need to find a way to, I guess, get through their, you know, COVID insanity, would be the Downhome Magazine would be a great ticket for that. So anyhow, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to my channel. You know, I started this channel as part of my retirement to keep me busy, and I enjoy making these videos. You know, about all kinds of different subjects. So I guess this, you know, you could help, you know, make my channel. What's the saying they always say, these guys on YouTube? Help out the channel. You know, the more that you like my videos and watch my videos, the more people can watch them, and that would be great. So hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the notification button so you don't miss any videos, because I do some pretty good videos from what I've been told on finance and just generally on life and stuff like that. So thanks very much. Have a wonderful day, and thanks for watching. Bye now.